We have a bit of an ugly repair here to the steam pipe. This steam pipe is just a pressure fit here with an O-ring. I think they might have used string or something when they were originally made. But I find just a simple nitrile O-ring will seal this perfectly okay. Maybe a drop of Loctite to assist. I use Loctite 542. I'm going to hold the boiler in this vise, and I will use a cloth to protect the side of the boiler, not the soft jaws because they'll melt. The cloth is wet so it doesn't catch alight too quickly. Okay, so it's only held lightly, as you can imagine. Another wet cloth, and I'll need a pair of pliers. Okay, I'm going to keep that moving while the solder dries, cools. So the next step is to see if we can get the solder off here, so I can get off the boiler band. Big old blob of solder that is. There we go. Okay, and now we can clearly see the depth of solder here. There's a lot of solder. So I'm going to heat it, take the nut off, and then wipe off the solder. So first thing is to get a spanner. It's 5/16 AF, of course. Why wouldn't it be? If you're worried about desoldering other parts on a boiler when you're doing work like this, put water in the boiler. Jesus Christ, there's a lot of solder on here. Now what I don't want to do here obviously is drop the bush into the boiler, because if I do that I have to take off an end cap, which I'd rather not do. I think I'm going to see if I can get the whistle off first. Get that out of the way. Yeah, a bit battered. Been through the walls, poor thing. Okay, not bad. Just using a wet cloth to try and wipe off some of the excess. The less it's there, the less there is to polish off, obviously. Okay, so I just saw the solder bubbling on the bush fitting, so now I'm going to leave it. My preferred method is to use a hydrogen peroxide degreaser. It's a kitchen degreaser. You want to wear a mask for this. I use a nylon brush, not a metal brush. I like my boilers to be shiny, which is how they were made. And if you use a metal brush or wire wool, you will of course mat up the surface, and then polishing that out can seriously weaken the brass. And it's unnecessary. And this doesn't have to be perfectly clean. It just needs to be better than it was. And I need all the loose soot off, clearly. That's not a big job. Came out well. This is now much cleaner. Inside of the chimney still needs some work to clean it, and I need to remove the little remnants of solder on here. Looking a bit more closely, the steam pipe bush is crooked, so I'm going to remove it, clean it and resolder it. That was easy, wasn't it? So the first tool I'm going to use for this is one of these little jeweler's polishing tools. Originally designed by 3M, probably patented by 3M, but available very cheaply from China as a copy. They're really good, they work very well. But it's carborundum based, you must wear a face mask if you're using these. Okay. Not bad. Now I need to clean the steam bush perfectly, obviously. So the next step is to refit the bush. I need to flux it and I need to hold it in position. Don't try and do this just by resting things in place, because when you heat them they will move. And now I've got to make sure that it's square. Soldering, wish me luck. Yep. Okay, looks like a nice neat joint. Excellent. Polishing.